I'm Max Lathrop, and welcome to Gaming Unplugged, where we cut the cable and we hit the table.
Hey, what are you doing in my car?
Oh, hello there. I'm Phil Buckets, professional wine critic extraordinaire, world-renowned lover of the fine things in life. Today we're going to talk about one of the oldest crafts in mankind's long and rich history. And that is viticulture, the art of winemaking, turning this innocuous, delicious fruit, the grape, and transmutating it into the nectar of royalty and gods, wine. How did wine come to be in the first place? Well, legend has it it all began in the prehistoric period when a Neanderthal stumbled upon a wild grape patch. He gathered all the grapes he could muster, filled his bare hide full to the brim. He brought the grapes back home to his missus and his little ones inside the cave. But winter was coming, so he thought to himself, I must save some of this delicious fruit. And in their attempt to gather and hoard grapes throughout the long, harsh winter, the grapes began to ferment because they were going rotten. And during the time of starvation and famine, the cavemen ate the grapes and got merry and jolly and started to feel funny as they became intoxicated by its beauty and its magnificence. I don't believe that this is at all how wine was made, but I like that story a lot.
No!
And it wasn't until sometime during the medieval period when mankind became sophisticated enough to stop tossing their rotten fruit about their dwellings loosely, and they became sophisticated enough to find a new container for such juices, and that became what we know today as the wine barrel. The wine barrel is what gives the wines its character and its oaky flavor. I think. I don't really know. Viticulture is as part of humanity as our DNA. As long as men still walk this earth, wine will be a part of us. Forever. Why am I still holding these grapes?
Hey guys, welcome back to Gaming Unplugged. I'm Max Lathrop, and in today's segment, if you couldn't tell from the intro, we're going to be talking about the game Viticulture. Now, Viticulture fits in my category of pleasant surprises because, in full disclosure, I actually bought the game more as a novelty because my brother and his wife recently bought a winery, and I'm like, hey man, look at this game, it's about making wine. Maybe I can kind of con them into playing board games with me with this little guy here. And but I gotta say, once I broke into the game, it almost immediately became one of my favorite worker placement games. I mean, there's an amazing summer-winter mechanic where you gotta ration your workers between different seasons. The components are fantastic and well thought out, and the theme plays out through the game like perfectly. I mean, it is awesome. So let's get down to business and take a look at her. Essentially, in Viticulture, you're the owner of a vineyard in pre-modern Tuscany. The object of the game is to sell as much wine as you can to earn victory points for the win. But the way you go about doing it is what makes this game so special. You have to go through all the different tasks in order to actually get the wine. You don't just like all of a sudden have wine cards or something and then you get to play them and get points. You have to actually plant different varieties of grapes to accomplish your goals of the types of wine orders you're trying to fill. I mean, you've got Merlot, you've got Cabernet Sauvignon, you've got Chardonnay and a bunch of others. And what's cool about the game is there's a bunch of others that I didn't really know about. And so I actually got to learn a little bit about wine in the process with these different grape varieties. Once you've planted them, you actually have to take actions to harvest them. And then they go in your crush pad where you can age the grapes there as they ferment. And then you have to then take actions to make the wine itself, in which case you have them in barrels in your cellars, and then they get to age over the course of the years, which are the rounds of the game. One of the other things I love about this game is the way that the rounds are separated by different seasons. So you'll have a different area of the board where you'll be placing workers during the summer, and then the other half of the board where you're placing workers during the winter. Now, of course, you only have a certain amount of workers to use throughout the entire year, so you have to be really careful about how you ration out those workers from summer to winter. The summer and winter worker cards are really fun. I mean, these are cards that you get to draw, and they grant you special abilities, special one-time actions that you can take. And what gamer isn't a sucker for awesome components? And boy, does this game not disappoint. Every single meeple in the game for every different structure that you can build is completely custom and unique. I mean, the little windmill blew me away when I first saw it. I love that attention to detail. The little wine bottle for the reoccurring payments. I mean, they could have just used cubes for most of this stuff, but they didn't. And how about those glass beads they use for the grape and wine markers? I mean, when I first opened the box, I'm like, are we doing arts and crafts time or something with these things? And then when I finally started playing with them and saw how the glass beads actually magnify the numbers to indicate your wine and your grape value, my mind was literally blown on that one. 2 words: Grande Meeple. The Grande Meeple, every player gets one, and it allows you to take an action that someone else has already taken. So if the spot's already full, you can use your Grande Meeple to take that action anyway. And how about that custom insert, baby? I mean, seriously, why don't every game company make custom inserts to organize all the pieces, man? I love it. Well, that's it for this segment, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you couldn't tell, I really, really, really enjoy Viticulture. It's a fantastic game. If you're a fan of worker placement, Euro-style games, definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed. And please follow me in all those fun socials. I really appreciate all that support. I'm working on getting a custom URL from YouTube, which takes a little bit. So right now it's just a long string of Klingon, but you can find the link to my channel in my Facebook and on my Instagram. So until next time, game on!
How many times I gotta tell you to pick up your stupid meeples, Max?
Me like me some board games?